Coming up on today's show, we're going to talk about the rumor that's been all over Twitter, the idea of trading for Christian McCaffrey. I got bad news. It's very unlikely, but we will go through that idea as it appears the Panthers might be in a fire sale mode after firing Matt Rule. Plus, the Broncos signed a linebacker named Harvey Langi. We're going to go talk about that. I don't have maybe the best update on that front in terms of the injuries. Plus, we're going to look at some free agent targets as a Broncos legend could be returning to Mile High. If you want some change, by the way, if you are tired of seeing this offense be stale and stagnant, like the video. My goal is to get the most amount of likes in a channel here, a channel record here at the Broncos Breakdown. And hopefully that will send up a big fire smoke sign to the folks over in Denver that change needs to happen. All right, before we get to all that, though, you might remember last Wednesday, I put out a deal to all of you guys that if this channel got over 1,000 comments on a video, we would be giving out a free Russell Wilson t-shirt. So with that, I have gone ahead, contacted the CEO of YouTube, big Broncos fan, and he crunched the numbers for me. Not really. This took a lot of time, so bear with me. But I do have the final results of comments made on that video. So coming in at number 3 with 118 comments is Jeffrey Ferreira. Ferreira, I think I got that right. Isn't that Turtle's last name, the actor in Entourage? I think it might be. Maybe this is Turtle. I don't know. But 118 comments, a very, very good effort right there. Only, unfortunately, to be outdone by XXX Mad Space XXX. I don't know what that means, but it's worth 120 comments, which fell short of number 1. And if you were a part of this race, you probably saw this guy's name all over the comments, and that is Octavio Rodriguez, the president of the Noti Gang here at the channel. He is always one of the first to respond to videos we push out. So, Octavio, I'm going to go ahead and reply to a bunch of your comments from that video. DM me on Twitter. We'll get my Twitter handle at the bottom of the next screen, at Matthew Petey, and let us know the best way to get in contact with you and get this Russell Wilson t-shirt out to you. Want to quickly shout out some other people that put a ton of comments in there that were honorable mentions. Sean Sharp, clap it up for you. You were all over there. Slap Yourself Entertainment, you were also a frequent commenter. No doubt about that. Johanta Baxter, you were very active in the comments as well. But Octavio Rodriguez is our winner. So shout out to you. Appreciate everyone that took part and participated in this comment challenge. We'll get that t-shirt out to you, Rodriguez. All right, let's get into the news and rumors today. Busy day at Chat Sports. Unfortunately, couldn't get this video out to you guys a little bit sooner. But I do want to talk about this. Christian McCaffrey, because there are rumors circulating right now across the NFL that the Panthers are listening to offers to trade away their star running back after Matt Rule got fired. Maybe it's going to be a full-on fire sale, and you could connect some dots, right? The Broncos need a running back. Christian McCaffrey is a very good running back. Could George Paton strike a deal? Here's the big issue. What are they going to offer, right? They don't pick until round 3 of this upcoming draft class, and I, for one, am kind of getting tired of looking at this graphic time after time because we have to face facts. The Broncos are not going to be buyers, in my opinion. And if they are, it'll be a small purchase, not a Christian McCaffrey. I mean, George Paton, for example, you might remember back in April, May, right after the draft, said he expects to have more picks come this April 2023. So if they're making trades, it's not people coming in and picks going out, but the opposite. Now, here's the other big hiccup. Christian McCaffrey's contract. This one's not so much a hiccup for the Broncos, but for the Panthers side of things. Do they really want to incur $26 million in dead cap? Probably not, especially because they finally are getting Christian McCaffrey back healthy after missing him for much of the last 2 seasons. From my point of view, it doesn't make a lot of sense to now trade your star running back. They don't get much cap savings, $1 million. Now, his base salary for this year is about $1 million. So, what that means is you take that number, divide it by 17, And that result or that sum is what he gets every single week. So 5 weeks already in the book. So 12 times whatever 1 million divided by 17 is, and that's how much his new team would have to pay him every single season, for the rest of the season, every single game. Now McCaffrey, like I said, has had a really good start to the year. I know the Panthers have been a disaster. Baker has sucked, but McCaffrey is starting to look much more like the Christian McCaffrey we remember. 324 yards on the ground, 4.5 point yards per carry, 2 touchdowns. And his receiving stats, again, we know he's a very versatile player. 26 receptions, 188 receiving yards, and 1 receiving touchdown to go along with it. So the stats are not the problem in terms of should the Broncos trade for this guy. Yeah, if they had the picks to do it, I'd be all for it because this offense needs a jump start. But they don't have the arsenal to pull off a trade, in my opinion, for a player like McCaffrey, where it's hard to really stab what a running back goes for in this day and age. It's not a first. It's not a second. Maybe a third. Probably a fourth. Feels more like in the ballpark for Christian McCaffrey. But I'll let you guys be George Paton and let me know. Would you trade for Christian McCaffrey? In a fantasy land, yeah, that's awesome, right? It's like fantasy football. This is not fantasy football, though. You want to part ways with 20 or more % of your 2023 draft capital, where this team has a lot of improvements that needs to be made? It's an important thing to maybe step back and look ahead a little bit, because I don't think McCaffrey coming in for, a season? Like the remainder of this season until Javonte Williams returns next season is really the smartest idea out there, in my opinion. All right, let's talk about the new face in Denver, Harvey Langi, a 2017 UDFA out of BYU. Here's how I'll put it. I had never heard of this guy before today. And producer Nick Roloff, new to Chat Sports, clap it up for Nick, doing a great job, is a Patriots fan. And he sat down in the studio and go, "Oh, you guys signed Harvey Langi?" And I go, "Yeah, why?" And he goes, "Dude, this guy stinks." So that's what I got for you right now. I'm sorry, Harvey. That's not the warmest introduction. Blame the Patriots fan. But with Josey Jewell week to week due to his knee injury, George Paton has to add to this interior linebacker room. And it's the former Jet/Patriot who gets added to the practice squad with sort of an expectation of give it a week on there, and if you're in football shape and you can play, you will be elevated to this active roster. Now, in his career, he's got 40 games, 10 starts, 80 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. He has primarily been a special teamer. So if you were looking for him to have a bunch of stats to fill your head with, he doesn't have that to offer you. Now, talking with executive producer Nick Roloff about Langi's play style, can't really play side to side, sideline to sideline. He struggles in pass coverage, and he is adequate against the run. Roloff giving me a smile like, you guys are fucked. All right, here we go. Let's look at the depth chart right now, though. Josey Jewell is injured. He is considered week to week. I have no problem with Alex Singleton and Jonas Griffith starting. I thought Singleton had a fantastic start to the year filling in for Jewell. And Josey Jewell was great the last 3 weeks, whatever it was now. Yeah, 3 weeks. And he was the best player on this defense in some ways in terms of leading the team in tackles, getting after the quarterback, helping out in pass coverage as well. Now, Pro Football Focus, they've been very generous to this interior linebacker room for Denver. Jewell ranking 31st out of 78 qualifying players. Jonas Griffith at 51. And Alex Singleton. This guy has just been making plays all season long. I owe him an apology. I was a doubter. I was not a believer back in the offseason about him being a serious starter on this team. But he is ranked 10th out of 78 linebackers. So clap it up for Alex Singleton. All right, no matter what the news is, big or small, we keep you covered here at the channel. From big trades to practice squad signings, we keep you tapped in, which is why you got to be subscribed. Hit that big red button and join the #1 fastest growing Broncos YouTube channel out there. All right, next up, is it time to sign an offensive tackle? We're going to run through some free agents, some notable names out there that might be worth looking into, with Garett Bolles unfortunately done for the season. Billy Turner, I don't think he'll ever play. But first, we got to tell you guys about our great friends over at Fanatics, who have an awesome hoodie combo for you guys. When you go to chatsports.com/DEN Den hoodie, you're going to get this awesome hoodie on sale right now. It is already fall. The weather is starting to drop. It's getting a little chillier. So no matter where you are rooting on the Broncos from, do it in style with this great hoodie. Chatsports.com/Den hoodie. That link in the comments and the description of today's show. All right, before we get to the offensive line segment, really quickly, just going to tap you guys in right now on the long snapper, because what's one more injury, right? Jacob Bobenmeyer, unfortunately, going to miss some time due to a wrist/hand injury. I don't know any of these guys. I do not know any of these names, but they are names to look for in a tryout for the new long snapper of your Denver Broncos. Now, as for the local legend, the fan favorite, Trinity Benson, you might remember his name. He was traded to the Detroit Lions last year during the preseason when the Lions had nobody. He got banged up. I kept watching for him in Hard Knocks, never really saw him, but Trinity Benson came back and visited/worked out for the team today. We could see a signing coming sometime soon. The Broncos are going to be opening up a lot of roster spots with already Randy Gregory on IR, but Ronald Darby going to be on IR. Michael Ojemudia is expected to return and take his spot. Bobenmeyer might go on IR too, and Bobenmeyer or whatever, and Garett Bolles. So there's going to be some roster spots open. You want to see Trinity Benson come back? We're talking about a preseason legend for the Denver Broncos. You might remember 2021 preseason and 2020 preseason. That is when Trinity Benson made a name for himself in Mile High. Now, let's switch gears and get to the offensive line. I am terrified because Calvin Anderson and Cam Fleming were never the expected starters for this team. And injuries happen. But injuries to both sides of the offensive line is where I am concerned right now. One, I don't think we're ever going to see Billy Turner, and I'll talk more about that. But if Denver is serious about revamping this offensive line, it might be time to look to free agency and bring in a Darrell Williams, an Eric Fisher, or even Bobby Massey. I didn't have an issue with Bobby Massey last year. I just saw that as, hey, you're getting up in the age column. Denver wants to go a different direction. It feels like a good, I wouldn't say necessarily mutual, but a parting of ways, not because he's washed and he's sucked, but because you know what you have in him and you kind of want to go see what you can find in someone else. PFF last year for Massey overall, kind of middle of the pack, 70 overall grade, better run blocking, 1 penalty, 5 sacks allowed. Massey was not a hideous sight to see at the offensive line at right tackle last season. He was just an older veteran over the age of 30, and a GM wants to go young and try someone else out. But here's my concern. I have given up on Billy Turner playing this year. I really have. I would love to be proven wrong, but I have kind of punted on the idea of Billy Turner playing this season. Just the verbiage and the tone that comes from Denver in terms of Billy Turner needing to get over the hump, limited in practice, but never quite being able to go Sunday. I get the sense he'll never play. And with that, are we ready to see Calvin Anderson and Cam Fleming start at left and right tackle all season? I don't know, Jim. I don't know. I don't have a good feeling about it, though. All right. What position should the Broncos target? I want to ask this last question of the show. Let me know what you guys are thinking in terms of offensive line, cornerback, edge rusher. Since Baron Browning got nicked up, he's considered day-to-day, much more optimistic about his availability next week. But, hey, let you guys kind of take over the comment section here. Let me know what position Denver should be targeting in free agency. And if you have not subscribed and you made it all the way to the end of today's video, please go ahead and do so. We're trying to get more subscribers here at the channel so we can get more content out to you guys. And I don't know, not getting it out at 7:35 Eastern time whenever I end up getting get the time to publish this. So hit that big red button. We'll get more studio space here at the Broncos Breakdown.